Hi again then guys, and so we've got another special projects replica build for you today, and this time it's a replica of the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat, the equivalent of course in the Charger range to the Challenger Hellcat, powered by a 707 horsepower monstrous V8 engine, one of the quickest saloon cars in the world. Now I've already of course done the Challenger Hellcat a while ago now, so now we've got the Charger to complete the lineup of Hellcat models that we currently have. So, of course, I'll show you first of all what I've done to get the visual appearance of the car, which is fairly simple on this one. Then we'll go over to the tuning garage for the mechanical setup, and finally out to the track to see how it performs. So, for the visual look of the Hellcat replica, you want the Type C body kit. Now, personally, I actually think the Type B looks cooler with the carbon fibre chin splitter, but the Type C does look the most similar, really, to the actual Hellcat with the shape of the extra bumper there at the bottom. As far as the rear wing, we've left that stock, and that's actually it for the bodywork. For the rims, we've gone for BBS RE MG rims. I haven't fitted any additional meters on this one. You can, of course, if you want to. I've just opted not to. As far as the colour, we have gone for a pearlescent colour, and the colour in question is called Misano Red Pearl Effect, and that is actually very similar, I think, to the actual Hellcat Red, and you can get that colour from the Audi RS4 and also the RS6. And as far as the rims, we have gone for black, of course, but the particular black that I've gone for, there are a wide variety of blacks on the game, but I've gone for Phantom Black, which just sounds like a cool name, and it comes from the Chaparral Vision GT car. And as far as the brakes, I've gone for the same colour as the body. So like I said, a fairly simple visual look to get on this car, and it does actually look like a pretty good Hellcat. So now let's go over to the tuning garage for the mechanical setup. So for the mechanical setup on this particular model, we've gone for sport soft tyres because it's more of a street-based tune. I've left the brakes stock just to give it a slightly more realistic feel. You don't have to do that, of course. For the suspension, we've got the ride height on 100, front and rear, springs on 925 and 8, the dampers and anti-roll to 4, half a degree of camber with neutral toe. Now, as far as the gearbox, I am running the actual gear ratios of the car, but the problem is we can only get a 5-speed gearbox out of this car on the game, whereas the real Hellcat is running an 8-speed gearbox. So unfortunately, obviously we can't get 6th, 7th and 8th gear, but 1st through 5th are the exact same gears as the real car, and we've had to just make the final drive a lot longer basically to make up for not having those 8 gears. So we've gone for an auto setting of 168, then for the individual gears you want 471, 314, 2.1, 1670 and 1290 with a final drive. The real car runs a final drive of about 2.6. So we've had to make up for that with putting it down to 2. For the diff, we've got the lowest initial torque, highest acceleration, and a braking sensitivity of 10. Again, like with the brakes, I've left the clutch and prop shaft standard, just to make it feel a little bit more realistic. For the power, this one does have an oil change. You want to go for your sports computer, the semi-race exhaust, which gives you the quad exhausts to look like the real car, the exhaust manifold, sports cat, supercharger and intake tuning, and then reduce it down to 707 horsepower. As far as the weight, you want to do the window weight reduction and then add a 105 kilo ballast all the way to the front of the car to bring us up to the pretty hefty weight of almost 2.1 tons of the real car. And it sits at 555 pp, which is kind of cool as well. So now let's finally take it out to the track to see what the Hellcat can do. Now, overall, being a car that's running on stock brakes, sports tyres and weighing almost 2.1 tonnes, it's not necessarily the quickest or easiest of cars to drive around the track or in racing. And overall, it's not designed to race. This is a replica of a road car, of course, not a racing machine. But overall, it's very, very quick, especially in a straight line, as the Hellcat should be. And the handling actually isn't that bad. It handles itself extremely well for such a big, heavy car. The quad exhausts as well really set off the look of the car as it should be. and they don't actually sound too bad either, which is unusual for Gran Turismo. So, if you decide to use this track hustling tune to replicate the Charger SRT Hellcat, I hope, of course, you find it fun and potentially competitive, but it's not really designed for racing. So, if you'd like to keep up with other replicas like this as soon as they come out, be sure to subscribe down below, and I'll also put a link for those who are unfamiliar with it to my replica of the Challenger SRT Hellcat also. And as always, thanks for watching.